Yo, what is up guys? It is Nate. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I have a very different video from what you guys are used to seeing. Typically I talk about tattoos, fitness, fashion. So what I'm gonna be doing today is sharing with you my journey so far, going from a normal, run-of-the-mill diet to going to a plant-based diet. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know that about 15 weeks ago, I went plant-based. Now, I got a ton of questions on my Instagram, people asking me, am I now vegetarian? How am I feeling? How am I going, especially with the training? What am I eating? And basically just kind of how am I finding the whole diet in itself. Now, before I get into this, I'm not kind of, jamming it down anyone's throat. I'm not saying that, going plant-based is the best diet ever and it's the only diet and that you should totally do it. I'm simply sharing with you my experience from what I know and what I've done and how I've felt, and that is it. So that is the whole gist of this video. So because I was getting so many questions, I thought I would make this video so that, because I was getting kind of the same questions, now I can just direct everyone to this YouTube video. They can head on over, watch this video and get all of the answers that they're looking for. So the main question I've been getting is, why did I turn plant-based? And it wasn't just one particular reason, but it was more of a handful. So that's the first thing I'm gonna share with you. End of last year, my dad, he gets sick. He basically has like a mini heart attack, I guess you could say. It was a big scare, my dad at the time this happened was 69, so he's getting on. And he ended up having to get a quadruple bypass surgery. So huge surgery, very, very serious and very, very scary for all of us as his family. And it kind of really made me think about my diet and what I was doing. My dad, when he was my age, was super, super fit. Like, he would smoke me right now in terms of fitness and, in everything he did. Like, he was, faster, stronger, lighter. He was, he was a very, very fit man. And to see him have a heart condition, it really kind of scared me, kind of was very, very close to home, obviously. And it made me think about, am I really, really healthy? Am I as healthy as I could be? And so, yeah, I basically kind of thought about it. And, I think going vegetarian or plant-based has been something that a lot of people have wanted to do, because over the last few years, more and more information has come out about, the benefits of going on a plant-based diet. There's definitely way more alternatives. Restaurants are coming out with more on the menu for vegetarian to kind of suit those people that don't want to eat meat any longer. So it was kind of, I guess, something that I've been thinking about, the amount of fat in meat, and, the amount of saturated fat. And so I thought, that was kind of one of the reasons. Now, again, like I said, that's not the only reason, but definitely, my dad going into hospital and having to get that surgery done did make me think a lot about what I was eating and how healthy I actually was. Because, from an outside perspective, felt fine, felt healthy, but was I really healthy? Now, another reason was, again, if you don't follow me on my Instagram, you wouldn't know, but I went to Thailand, okay, in January. Now, on my last day in Thailand, I got like hectic gastro or a bug or something. So literally on my last day, I'm pretty sure it was the last meal I ate, I got super, super sick and I was vomiting the whole way home from Phuket back home to Australia, Sydney. And I was kind of bedridden for like a week. I was so weak, I couldn't do anything. I honestly, it was the most sick I've ever been. And so after getting some tests done and obviously going back and forth with the doctors to kind of see what was happening, it came out that I got sick from a bug that was found in meat. So again, all of these things kind of were lining up where it was kind of like, maybe you should give up meat for a little bit, And at first that was my, my thought process. I'll not eat meat and for a little bit, I'll try it just to try to get my digestion back on track and just to see how I felt and to see if it was possible for me to do. Now, the third kind of thing that pushed me towards doing it, I guess, was the fact that the gym that I work at, Reborn Fitness Club, amazing gym, there's your plug, Trav, that's my cousin, was having a start of its 8-week challenge. So with that kind of starting, everyone gets scans, right? So these are body composition scans from InBody, and they tell you, things like your muscle mass, your body fat percentage, things of that nature, and they're quite accurate. So what I thought I would do is, I thought, 8 weeks is coming up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to stick to being a vegetarian or being plant-based for much longer than that. How about I just try to do 8 weeks? I'll get my scans before and after, and I'll see how it's affected my body. So the main reason I think that a lot of people don't want to go vegetarian or plant-based or vegan, whatever you want to say, is because they don't want to give up protein, especially when you're in the fitness industry. You know, you feel like, hey, if I stop eating chicken or beef, red meat, fish, whatever, I'm going to lose a ton of muscle. And honestly, that was my main concern. So I thought, you know what, I'll do 8 weeks and see how much muscle mass I lose. If it's not, too extreme, or it's, it's not affecting me too much, then I'll continue to do it. That's where it all kind of started. So I had, 3 big reasons really to do it, as well as obviously the fact that it's better for the environment. You're also not harming animals. Another massive reason is I feel like this is the time, if you are going to become plant-based, it's to do it now. So maybe 10 years ago, it might have been a huge fuss to become plant-based just, because when you went out and you wanted to socialize with your friends, they didn't have anything on the menu. It was a lot harder to get things like tofu, etc. Nowadays, you can go into any restaurant, you can get an awesome veggie or vegan meal. You can still hang out with your friends, you can still be social, and you're not gonna kind of be like cast aside as that weirdo that doesn't eat meat anymore. That, I feel, that whole kind of stigma has been abolished, and now you can do it. It's super simple, easy to do right now. That extra convenience is another reason that pushed me towards doing it. So I pretty much went cold turkey. Like literally, I thought about it. I knew the challenge was gonna be starting on a Monday. The Saturday before, I went to the supermarket, and luckily for me, I have a friend, her name's Jill. Shout out to Jill for all the help. She is a vegan, and she was basically helping me kind of along the way, giving me tips and ideas of what I could do. I went to the shops and I just started loading up on everything that was kind of, tofu, tempeh, like the meat substitute things that they have at the grocery store that I'd never even really looked at before, and stuff like that. So everything else was exactly the same in terms of the things that I was buying, the vegetables, everything like that side of it, cereal, etc., oats. But it's just that the meat was different, like what I was, instead of buying chicken and mince and stuff like that, I was just buying tofu. So it wasn't a huge issue. It was all at the same supermarkets that I was already shopping at. So it's not as if I had to go to like a specialty store or anything like that. So it made it super simple. So things like organic tofu, and I'm just gonna show you really quickly. Organic tofu. So like I said, you can find this at any kind of supermarket. Then you've got, a little bit more exotic tofu, and this one is flavored. So this one's actually a Thai flavored tofu. So if you're looking to spice things up a little bit, you can't be bothered, marinating just, your normal tofu, you can just buy this if you're lazy. Oh, here's another one. This is tofu nuggets. Now this one is basically in like a sweet chili sauce that's ready to serve. All you need to do with this is put it in the fry pan, heat it up, and boom, you've got a delicious source of protein there. Falafel. That's another kind of big thing that I've been eating. So falafel, I mean, all of these, I guess you could say, they're processed and stuff like that. But the fact is, I'm not eating meat. And at the start, this is how I went about it, and still am. I mean, I'm still very, very new to it. So just being able to go to the store and the fact that I can just buy all this stuff is just super simple. As I move along in my journey, I definitely want to make sure that I'm, making my own things and trying different things and things not out of package. But right now, I wanted to make it as easy as I could. These are, Veggie Delights, veggie sausages. So, if you're kind of missing meat or you're missing sausages, you guys can just grab those. And then this is the tempeh. So this doesn't look that good, I'm going to admit. It honestly looks like dog food. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but when I first got it, I was a bit apprehensive. Later in the video, I'm actually gonna be cooking a meal for you, like a typical meal that I'll eat, but that'll be later on in the video. So, yes, they're the kind of things that you guys can just pick up at the stores straight away. That's my main source of protein, I guess you could say. And I also eat eggs. So so I'm veggie. So I also eat eggs as well. I used to eat 6 eggs a day. 6 eggs a day. Now I eat 2, if that. Maybe 1 at least, but I used to eat 6 a day. Sometimes even more. That's crazy to me to even think about. So that was me just kind of showing you, I guess, the protein options that you guys do have. Now in terms of how I felt, because like, as you guys know, I am a personal trainer, so I'm very, very active. And I must say, the first 2 to 3 weeks, it was kind of hard. I did kind of forget that I would have to supplement, with an iron liquid supplement. So I have been taking that now, which has really helped. But other than that, not too bad. I definitely don't feel as strong. I don't know if that's just, you know, something up here in my head kind of saying to me, you know, you're not eating meat anymore, you're not as strong, but the training's been good. I guess you guys are kind of wondering about how my scans went. So like I said, I got the scans at the start, in-body scans. I have it here, right here, so you guys can see. So the first or the second, 2018, that's when I got my initial scan, and my weight was 73.3 kilos. My muscle mass was 36.1 kilos. Yeah, my body fat was 13.6% body fat. Now, I used to be really concerned about how lean I was, and knowing that I was gonna be eating a ton more carbohydrates, I knew that I was gonna put body fat on. That's just, I guess, part of the process. It kind of just comes with the territory. So I wasn't too concerned about putting on body fat. You know, I didn't really wanna use that too much of a marker. I was more looking at the muscle. So, as you guys can see, my weight did go up. So from 73.3 to 74.9 kilos. The interesting thing though, and like I said, the main thing for me was I gonna lose muscle? And you guys can see there that I went from 36.1 kilos to 36.2, so giving me an increase of 100 grams. So let's be honest, not a ton of muscle put on, didn't expect that. I actually thought I'd lose a ton of muscle, so I'm pretty stoked with that. And my body fat percentage went up from 13.6 to 15%, or 15.1, sorry, I should say. But I'm okay with it. I still feel like I'm relatively lean, and at the end of the day, I'm not eating meat. I'm doing something better for myself inside, and I'm not, you know, harming any more animals anymore. And well, I do eat eggs, but you know what I mean. But I'm not doing that anymore. So I kind of feel good about it. If you have any other questions, you know, don't hesitate just to leave it down in the comment section. Now, has it been hard? Honestly, like I said, it's super convenient. I'm really enjoying food right now. I can go to, you know, most places, or if not all places, and get an amazing meal. So it hasn't been too hard, honestly. I'm still going strong. I wanted to make this video because what I'm thinking about doing as well is a little bit of a segment where on my channel I go to, you know, amazing vegetarian or vegan restaurants and try out some awesome meals, kind of share with you what's in them, what they taste like, the texture, the feels, and, you know, maybe even giving them a rating. So that's something that I'm looking at doing in the future. So if you guys want to see that, definitely subscribe to the channel. But for now, guys, let's go make a typical meal that I would have on the day-to-day. Let's do it. So right now we're in my kitchen, and I want to show you guys what I typically eat in every meal, okay? So these are not the only things I eat, but in terms of putting a meal together, these are the things that I'm taking into consideration. So the first thing we want to start off is what kind of protein I'm eating. You guys are obviously asking that question, and I have been eating, this has been one of the proteins that I have been eating. It's called tempeh, and whilst it doesn't look that good aesthetically, it's actually not too bad once you fry it up, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll also make sure that I've got some greens in there. So I've just got this broccolini right here from Coles, and this was like $2 just for this whole bunch there. So I'll generally chuck that in as well. I'll just boil that up in some boiling water, obviously, and then I'll throw in some mushrooms as well. So I've been eating a ton of mushrooms. I just basically saute these on the pan with a little bit of butter, and we're good to go. Also, another little thing that I add is this stuff right here. So it's basically called original kraut, and what it is it's original kraut, or sauerkraut, I guess, with horseradish. So really nice taste, and apparently this is really good for your guts as well. So it's from a brand called Goods. You can just get that, again, either from Coles or Woolworths is where I've been sourcing most of this stuff. Now, also Aldi does have some tofu as well, but I typically go with the more flavored tofu like I showed you earlier in the video. So now I'm just gonna show you how I cook it, put it together, plate it up, and I'll show you guys. Alright, so as you guys can see, I used half of that tempeh packet here. I used 7 mushrooms that I've just kind of, you know, sliced up. I'm not the best chef here, so it's a bit rough. And then with the broccolini, I've just given a little bit of a rinse, and then I've just shortened these up, so I've just cut off the dry ends as well. So now it's time to kind of cook everything. Typically, because the tempeh takes longer, I'll cook that first. Then in the same pan, I'll throw the mushrooms in after I've taken the tempeh out, and then the broccolini will be about 10 minutes in boiling water, and then I'll just strain them and drain them, and they're good to go. So I'm just gonna plonk that in there. You obviously want to make sure that it gets covered by the water as well, and I will add some salt into the mix there as well. Got this pan heating up, and to oil the pan, I'm just going to be using this canola oil cooking spray. I've also just added a little bit of this coconut sweet chili sauce onto the tempeh as well, just to give it a little bit of an extra kick. Now the thing about tempeh is it does tend to really stick to the pan. So this is actually a new Teflon pan that I've just bought from Coles. And it's been really good in terms of, like, you know, obviously not letting the tempeh stick, because once it sticks, you guys can see once it starts to stick, it's really kind of hard to get off the pan, so I'm constantly tossing it up and down. I did pre-boil the water before putting it in, and like I said, 10 minutes just for that, and then I'll take it straight out and drain it. Now for the mushrooms, I'm just going to use this Nutellux original, I don't know, so I think it's supposed to be a healthy alternative butter, but I'm going to be putting that in the pan now. Like I said, just a quick kind of saute, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the broccolini's out now. So there you have it, guys. This is the finished result, the end product of like kind of a typical meal that I would eat. So it's got the protein, it's got the carbs, the greens, it's got some good digestives in there with the sauerkraut, and of course the mushrooms. So guys, I'm just about to sit down and enjoy this meal. That is the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just kind of, you know, my entry level into becoming, you know, plant-based, and I just wanted to kind of share with you my journey so far, how the last 15 weeks have been going, and of course share you know, a typical meal that I have been cooking for myself as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, which I hope you guys did, I want you guys to give me a big thumbs up, and if you guys have any questions in regards to other things, the training, how I'm feeling, or anything that I didn't cover in this particular video, please leave it down in the comment section. I'd really appreciate it, and I'd love to kind of help you guys out with my own personal experience. Thanks for watching, guys. Go follow me on my Instagram, because I do post a lot of what I'm eating there, as well as, you know, photos and stuff like that on my story. So you guys can follow me over here at TheStyleDogg on Instagram. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.